Hi there, it's Nicole for Simon Says Stamp, and today I have a card featuring another new die from the DieCember release from Simon Says Stamp. This is the Stacked Hearts, and I've created a great little heart grid here and filled it in with some solid color pink and red hearts. To start my card, I'm going to use the largest stitched rectangle die and die cut this Doodlebug 6x6 pattern paper in a black and gray houndstooth pattern. This is going to be the background of my design. Next, I'm going to take that Stacked Hearts die and I'm going to die cut it twice from some black cardstock. Because this is a bit more intricate die, I am going to use the Memory Box metal shim. And because I'm going to stack these hearts, or the heart outline rather, one on top of another, I'm going to use some Stick It on the back of my black cardstock so that the design automatically has some sticky on the back so I don't have to use a liquid adhesive. This is going to be much less messy than trying to use another form of adhesive. So I'm simply giving my cardstock a sticker backing here. I'm going to have to do that a couple times on this strip of black cardstock as I'm cutting out the stacked hearts twice. So I'll go ahead and grab my stacked hearts now. Make sure it fits so I get the whole design, and then I'm going to run that through my Big Shot. And I'm going to roll it through a couple times. Even though I'm using that metal shim, it is a bit of an intricate design, and I want to make sure that I really get a crisp, clean die cut with that Stick It on the back. It does die cut very nicely with that product. It's very thin. I'm going to just gently pop this out so I don't tear anything. And then I'll need to remove all those little inside pieces here in a little bit. Before I do that, I will go ahead and add a little bit more Stick It to the rest of this cardstock piece. And then run this through my die cut machine. So again, I just remove a little bit of the backing paper on the Stick It, apply that right to the back of my cardstock or paper, whatever you're using. Place the die right there so that it has a sticker backing, and then run it through the die cutting machine. Great way to make your own stickers. Next, I am going to die cut some of these solid Doodlebug pattern papers. Both pattern papers actually, both of the ones with pink solid have a red back. So I actually only need to cut the bright pink, the light pink, and then I can flip over one of them and use the reds. Because the heart is pretty symmetrical, it's going to fit either way. I did check that out after I die cut the first one, just to make sure so that I knew I didn't have to die cut the design 3 times to get all 3 colors. I'm removing that sticker backing now, that Stick It, and I'm going to attach my black heart outline of the stacked hearts to that black houndstooth pattern paper that I die cut from the stitched rectangle die. I'm going to just press that in place right where it goes. Get those hearts lined up nice and straight. Peel off the backing paper from the hearts again and attach this one right on top of another. This was so quick and easy, no mess. I hope I never run out of that Stick It. It makes it so easy to layer your die cuts perfectly and not have any of that gluey mess. Now, I probably could have put Stick It on the back of the hearts, but I didn't want to peel off backing paper from all of them. So instead, I'm just placing little dabs of glue into each of the heart wells and then placing one of the hearts in each of these. I accidentally got a little too much glue in that first heart well, or the little heart space, so it did squish out, and I'm just dabbing it up so that it doesn't leave a mess. But normally I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, place the heart inside. I'm using the quick stick tool to make sure it's pressed nice and really securely inside each of the heart outlines. And I'm going to continue this for all of the hearts. So I'm just going to kind of mix and match. I don't really have a pattern other than I tried not to get two colors right next to each other. I think it would be fun to maybe do some of that, like maybe each row is a different color. You could do this so many different ways, and definitely with other colors besides pinks. I just tend to kind of like the pinks and reds on a black background like this. So something a little different, and especially here where there's so many Christmas cards being shared as it's that season, I thought it would be kind of nice to do something completely un-Christmassy. Kind of maybe even get ready for Valentine's Day or something like that. As I'm working, because the liquid glue can tend to make the paper maybe roll up a little bit as it's wet, it does dry pretty quickly. I just put something heavy like these acrylic blocks over the little pieces that I'm laying down to hold them in place and hold that paper nice and flat while the glue dries. So as I work my way down, I just kind of move that acrylic block and keep that paper held down. I'm going to continue this until I have all of those hearts filled in, and then I can add my stamped greeting. I lined up the word hugs from the hand-lettered encouragement stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and then the rest of the phrase from the Simon Says Stamp Best Hugs stamp set, and then pick them up with an acrylic block and stamp them with Versamark ink. Now, unfortunately, when I pressed this down, I did not get a very good impression on the word hugs, and I almost thought I had ruined this whole panel. So I removed the phrase and then very carefully lined up the word hugs with what I had just stamped and was able to get a good impression, and I didn't have to think of a way to either fix this or scrap it and start over, which I was so grateful for. I'm going to sprinkle on a little white embossing powder now and then heat set that. Once that's done, I am ready to add some embellishment. I'm going to use some pretty pink Posh sequins scattered there throughout the heart design. I'm using the pink blush, the pink peonies, and then some reds from the Sweetheart mix, which I think maybe that pink peonies comes in the Sweetheart mix as well. The Sweetheart mix is all 4mm size, and the pink blush there is the 6mm. I always like to kind of mix and match whenever possible. I like the two different sizes. Once I have those in place, secured with bling glue dots, I am going to take some teeny tiny clear gemstones from Hobby Lobby. They're very small, and place them in the center of each of these sequins. So every one of the sequins is going to have this little teeny tiny clear gemstone in the middle for a nice little touch of sparkle. And then I even added a few additional gemstones scattered throughout the design to kind of finish it all off. I like the look of all those gemstones in the middle of the sequins, but then I thought a few scattered throughout just gave a little bit of a nice balance to the design. So those the sequins and gemstones kind of go in a line from the top to the bottom, if you can kind of see that. A lot of times that's how I like to add my little teeny tiny embellishments to my cards. I'll go ahead and adhere a nice secure adhesive to the back of this panel and then attach it to a top fold card base from Simon Says Stamp to finish the design. You could even use some foam adhesive on the back of this panel if you want to raise it up for a little bit more dimension. And that's it. That will finish up this great stacked hearts card design. Thanks for watching this video showcasing a new die from the Simon Says Stamp DieCember release, Stacked Hearts. The supplies I've used are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Here are a couple more videos you might be interested in on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.